Hello, my friends. Today's date is December the 12th, 25. And this is a reading for you if this is your birth date, or if this is an anniversary or a special event day, but primarily a birthday reading for those born on this date. December the 12th. So, this is a four card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card about more information about what this whole year really is about. So, what is the reflection you can look at this year through? Well, it is the box. And the box, well, boxes are good things and boxes are, challenging things at the same time. Oftentimes we need to put things in boxes to organize them, to store them, to keep them safe, to keep them private, to keep them hidden, to keep them as personal things for ourselves. At the same time, sometimes we put things boxes into boxes and we forget about them, and they need to be looked at, and they need to be felt, and they need to be understood. I'm talking in a lot of ways about our emotions. When we have negative emotions, things that we don't like about ourselves, things that we hate about ourselves, experiences that are really traumatic and hard for us to understand, even small experiences that aren't so traumatic, but they feed some kind of narrative that we hold about ourselves that is usually not a positive one. Those get put into boxes too quite often and don't want to be looked at and faced. So the box can help to store, can help to define. You define yourself in certain ways, as I am this and I am not that. I am this and I am not that. I am this and I am not that. I believe this and I don't believe that. You put yourself into a box as well. And sometimes we box ourselves in, others box us in, family, culture, society, self. We box ourselves into places that now might be hard to get out of and hard to break through and hard to dance on the other side of the box and undefine oneself. The sense of our ego is that until we come into our body without a sense of definition, and then we are given a sense of definition that we take on from ourselves and from others and our experiences. We define ourselves, and then the true test of self is to undefine ourselves and to not limit ourselves and to look at those things that box us in and keep us from being truthful and authentic and do our healing work. So the box is a great and a beautiful and a difficult metaphor to look through, to look at. And so what is your particular challenge, December the 12th? Well, it is the Hermit. And the hermit says, in its upright position or its, positive position, it says, I need to go into the forest. I need to go into the woods of my heart and my mind. I need to go deep into my meditations. I need to shut off the psychic noise from other people's. I need to get away from all the cement. I need to get away from all the input and influx and constant activity, and go listen to myself and go honor myself and go be in nature and go feel the nature of myself and break out of my box that I have found myself possibly trapped in. So that's your challenge, breaking out of a box that you feel trapped in, but yet the only way kind of to go look at that is to go look at that and to go shut your mind off and shut yourself down and go into, quote, the woods, and go into quiet space and go into sanctuary and to go into sacred time and to go into, even if it's just going into, a hot soak or a hot tub or something that you haven't allowed yourself to do because you're just too busy, and you're also probably afraid of the box that you've put something into it. And on a lot of levels, there's probably an old trauma that might be coming up that needs to be looked at and asked to be honored, and it's coloring your everyday life because it's seeping out of that box. It's spilling over the edges, and it's probably coloring your life, but you're letting it because you don't know how to really deal with the stuff that's in the box, or the issue, or the energy, or the hatred, or the fear, or the guilt, or the shame, or the grief that's in the box that you've set aside. But the only way to really heal yourself right now, and this is a year that I think is calling for you to do some very deep healing work on yourself, is to allow yourself to go into yourself, allow yourself to open some boxes that you've closed away and hidden away, and allow yourself to really breathe them and honor them, and and find a way to show some compassion for them and honor that you're, human, and that you're part of, a bigger paradigm and a bigger picture, and it's not just about you, but it is about you, because it's you and you, what the things that you put into your own box to define yourself. And now you have a chance to undefine yourself and to become more authentic and do some major healing work on yourself and heal some old wounds and old traumas that might be coming up for you. But yes, it's scary. So what do you do when you have to look inside yourself and it's dark and it's frightening and it's full of shadows and things that scare you? So here's your action to take: is the owl. Well, you invite in a sacred companion to go into the dark, and who better than to go into the dark than someone who lives in the dark and hunts in the dark and feeds in the dark and takes care of their family in the dark? The owl, the wisdom keeper, for Athena, the wisdom provider. And it's not just about analysis and wisdom, it's about intuition as well. So the owl brings the sight of the night, the ability to see into the dark and to see things clearly and to give you messages about what is really going on for you. This is a great helper to go into your boxes, because the owl can see in the boxes without needing light, and the owl can bring that information back out to you and give it to you through your dreams and through your visions, through your intuitions, through your own insights and sightings, through the things that you're feeling inside of you and not necessarily able to see. So ask the owl to show you the visions, ask the owl to bring you courage, ask the owl to quietly allow you to go deeply into yourself and to face yourself. Because on some level, if you put them in a box, you might have thought they were going to kill you. And the owl, who better than to go into that with a great warriorship that can see in the dark to protect you and to guide you, than the owl? And that is to help you to really honor that these things are probably not going to kill you, more than likely, if you look at them and face them and feel into them and believe in yourself through them, and give yourself some breath and give yourself some allowance and give yourself some peace and some healing and some nature. Nature keeps calling. The hermit and the owl, what more than breaking out of the box of society and the box of constant social activation and constant stigma and constant craziness of a world, than to go find a peaceful place and go with great insight into the dark and the shadows and have a companion and a guardian who will speak the truth to you and give you the answers that you need. And on a lot of levels, this is probably going to bring something up for you that says, oh my God, I hated that. And oh my God, that experience was horrible. And oh my God, there's some sense of trauma that's inside of me. But oftentimes that is the child, your inner child, that has experienced that trauma. And that inner child did not have the capabilities or the abilities or the allowance to say no to something that scared them, that hurt them, that frightened them. And now you must remember that you are the adult to your inner child, and that you know how to say no now, and you know how to put up good boundaries, and you know how to set yourself in a place of protection and a place of, at the same time, allowance for yourself to be true, for yourself to be authentic, and for yourself to allow healing. You can't let what's going on continue to go on in your life, because on some level, I think you're not allowing yourself to say no to some of the things that you need to say no to. And where does that stem from? Well, other people overriding your boundaries and you feeling like you had the inability to say no as a child. And now you can comfort your inner child and say, I'm going to take care of you now. I'm the adult here. I know that I can say no. I know that I can keep this energy at bay. I know that I don't have to give this energy of myself away and then be mad at myself for allowing it, or be mad at myself for calling it in, or be mad at myself for deserving it. All those negative statements, those are the things you put in the box. Those are the things you get to look at and work toward healing. And you'll have your own particular pattern and thought about what you put in the box. But it's probably something you don't like about yourself. And that's what you got to heal this year. It's a very powerful time for you to come to that good realization, open your box, and step out of the box and allow yourself to have some freedom and some authenticity and some pleasure. Because the box, I think these particular boxes don't often allow us to have our pleasure because they define us and they don't let us break away and break out. Ahom Taquias, and blessed be.